guys, and welcome to another episode of Working Money, getting your money working for you. Now I just wanted to take a quick sec to remind you guys, please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Click that little bell for new video notifications. And like the videos if you guys like the content I'm providing. And always comment on the videos. I love hearing what you guys have to say. Well guys, the market has seen more losses overnight. Bitcoin hovering just above 5,900, 6,000, just a little over 6,000. Ethereum took a huge hit, down over 17%. XRP is now hovering in the 26-cent level. Everything, as you can see, is in the red. Double-digit losses for a lot of these coins, guys. Wow, even Tron's right just over 1 cent. And so, there's a lot of people blaming the whales, and I believe that whales have something to do with this market. However, I don't ever think that there's only one issue at play when it comes to something of this magnitude. I'm finding this article here, what caused crypto markets to dump $30 billion and hit a new low. And so guys, let's just take a little read here. This year has not been a bright one for cryptocurrencies. The fervor at the beginning of 2018 has dissipated into a shroud of despair towards the end of it. As markets continue to dump, new lows are being made, leaving us wondering when it will reach the bottom. Over the past 24 hours, cryptocurrency markets have bled $30 billion. 30 billion, guys. Look at the market cap right now. It's 193 billion. Okay, Bitcoin dominance is at 54%, just over 54%. So the market just keeps bleeding money, okay? According to the stats from CoinMarketCap, from a level of 219 billion at this time yesterday, the markets have crashed to a new low. There was a small correction, but then it looks like the trend's going lower. It is the third lower low in August, indicating that the downtrend is steepening. A whopping 110 billion has left the crypto space in less than 3 weeks. As markets plunged 37%, Bitcoin has fallen sharply, dropping 27% from its July high of 83.50 to its current level at just over $6,000 per BTC. This has caused the altcoins to shed even more as they get dumped in a fury of FUD. I love that. In a fury of FUD, they're just getting dumped. Many of them, including Cardano, IOTA, Tron, Neo, BINANCE Coin, VeChain, and 0x, are getting smashed over 20% on the day. There's been some speculation as to what is behind the big dump, as the SEC's delay of the CBOE ETF would not have caused such a collapse, but may have been the catalyst for it. So guys, as I say, there are certain factors at play. Obviously, the ETF has something to do with it, but it can't be solely responsible for the entire crash. Senior market analyst at eToro, Matty Greenspan, suggested the US dollar is having an influence when he told the WSJ. The crypto markets falling may well be a side effect of the dollar strength right now. The buck is simply crushing everything in its path. And so guys, before we talk about the dollar, I'm just going to go back here a little bit in the SEC's decision where the ETF, Modern Investor just put out a video too, that people tend to look at singular events in the crypto market and try to attribute the behavior of the market to a singular event. And this is just not fair or correct. There was a lot of emphasis put on the BTC ETF not being approved. And that gave, since we're in such a small market as it is, that gave a lot of impetus for retail investors who aren't terribly sophisticated to dump their positions. Now, really, does it make sense to dump your position just because an ETF isn't approved? Think about that logically for a second. All that these bodies were saying is that we're not approving the Bitcoin ETF. Nothing actually has changed. XRP still has real-world utility. All these other coins are still doing what they're going to be doing. Bitcoin is still the store of value. Stellar is still continuing with its project. Litecoin, Cardano, all these coins are still doing what they have been doing for months and months and months, right? So these little bits of news send off triggers, but what a lot of people keep forgetting are that these coins have utility. And so, when you're hearing one thing over here, and I'm putting my right hand over to the right, but something else is happening over here, now I'm putting my left hand to the left. You guys can't see this because you're looking at my screen. We've got to all remember that there's things going on behind the scenes that these companies are doing, and that this kind of talk, the ETF not being approved, is all just kind of fluff. It's not nothing, but to me, it's just negative news, and it does create these kinds of bearish sentiments. Back to the strength of the dollar now. XRP _ Canada sent me this tweet here from Charlie Bilello, the Director of Research at Pension Partners, manager of the Inflation Rotation Fund. And he tweeted out this little chart down here. I'm going to see if I can find it here. As you know, before we were talking about the dollar and how the dollar is strengthening and it could have an effect on the crypto markets. And as you guys know, Bitcoin came out of a stock market crash. It came about as an alternative currency that was not tied to banks or governments. The anti-governmental coin had a strong ideology behind it. And so at that time, people didn't have faith in the government. People didn't have faith in their banks. And they thought that the rich were getting richer on their backs, which was true. The average Joe was getting screwed. And so this is how Bitcoin was born. Well, now we have the US dollar killing it, right? As was said in this quote here, the crypto markets falling may well be a side effect of the dollar's strength right now. The buck is simply crushing everything in its path. So there's this tweet here, and it shows the return, the ticker 2018 return versus the US dollar. And it gives a few international currencies here, the Venezuelan bolivar, the Sudanese pound, Turkish lira, and look at how much these currencies have devalued compared to the US dollar. So, I mean, on the flip side, you can look at this as the US dollar strengthening, which it has, but it's strengthening compared to all these, and I mean, you know, every currency on earth. So as the US dollar is going up, all these other currencies are going down. Turkish lira down 46%, the Argentine peso down 38%, you know, Brazilian real, Russian ruble, they're all here, guys. The Pakistani rupee down 11%. So the US dollar is strengthening, and this could have an effect on crypto because, as we know historically, crypto does well when the US dollar does well. It could just be one attributing factor to why the crypto market is down. And again, I wouldn't consider this the be-all, end-all, guys. So guys, let's take all of this into consideration when we're looking at crypto markets. It's not just one thing. Right now, we might feel like the sky is falling. Look at these double-digit losses, but realistically, guys, you have to think about what crypto is doing, what coins are worth investing in. As the modern investor says, a lot of immature investors are not focusing on the fundamental utility of certain coins and certain projects. And guys, this is why I love XRP. It's got a powerhouse team behind them. They are solving real-world problems. Let's just forget about the price right now, because if we focus and perseverate on that, we're just going to get depressed. All we can do right now is find extra money to put into the market because it is super, super depressed. Now's the time to buy. And I feel like since XRP is hovering within that 26-cent mark, it is definitely hitting its lowest support level to date. So see if you can find some extra money, guys, and put it into XRP. Anyways, guys, that's going to do it for me today. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.